Good afternoon. It's been a bit. Um, Last video I did was doing the battery mod for the Digitech GSP 21. Um, and this is going to be probably a simpler, well, I shouldn't say simpler, but it's not that difficult of a fix. It's probably about the same level. Um, and it's about this. I have this ART SGX 2000 Express, and I'm having two issues with it. So the first issue, which is what I'm going to talk about today, is the LCD screen. So the LCD is kind of okay, but the backlight, there's no backlight. It's kind of messed up. Um, you just saw the blink there. There you go. See that? Um, the other issue I'm having is it's not retaining the memory. I've replaced the battery, and I think the battery holder might be bad. But let's get to fixing this thing, this LCD display. Alright, so here's what you're going to need. So you are going to need, number one, an LCD display. Now, there's many of them on the market. I've seen some OLED ones which look nice, but I just didn't want to make it too expensive, so I got this regular one right here. These are available from AliExpress, on eBay. They should run you roughly around $7. Now, the important thing is that you notice the header pins here. You're not going to find them with header pins. You're either going to find them like this, or you're going to find them with like some serial board that's already soldered on, which I made the mistake and bought one. And I figured, oh, I'll just take the board off. But guess what? I've been struggling and struggling, and it's a pain in the butt. So I said, you know what? Let me just get another one. So I did. So you're gonna get the LCD display. This one is blue and white, kind of give it a different look, and it's gonna have 16 pins, right? And on the back, it's gonna have these two little dots. Those are the two little microprocessors to interpret all the data that's going into those terminals right there. The next thing you're going to need to buy is some header pins. Now, you need 16. All right. These come in packs of 40. They're breakable. I made the mistake and I bought the 2 times 40 because I thought I was getting 2 of 40, but it's actually 2 rows of 40. So what I did was that I cut off a section of 2 by 16 and then I pushed the pins out. So I got my header pins right there. So if you notice, one side is shorter than the other. The short side is what's going to go onto the LCD display. You're going to solder on, and then the long part is for the cable. Now, the other thing you need to buy is a ribbon cable. You need to get this ribbon cable right here. This usually comes in 40. So what I did was I actually have two. I have two 16 sections, and then one that was left over. And you notice you have to get a male to male, okay? And that's what they look like, male. These look like the little, if you ever worked inside of a computer, like the little header plastic pieces that go into that connect from like the front panel where you turn the power on. It's got the little hard drive light and all that nonsense. Back in the day, I don't know if you guys remember that. So it looks like that on both ends. So make sure you get them on both ends. All right. All right. So the first thing you got to do is you got to put the header pins on here. You notice this is the front of the unit. So the shorter end is what's going to go through the LCD unit over here. So you're going to flip it downwards, and you're going to put this in right there, just like that. And you're going to flip it back. So now it looks like that. Now what we need to do is that we have to solder these pins into place. So I'm using my old soldering iron that I got here. Clean the ends up a bit. Give me a second. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to heat the pin and the tabs simultaneously. And once it's heated up, you're just going to put a small dab of solder. Okay? Just like that. So I need to put a little more. Next pin. So you want to do the first pin and you want to do the last pin first. Kind of secure it in place. Just like that. Let's put a little more here. Okay. And then you can go in order. Okay, I think I've got it. Okay. Alright, so after taking this cover off, this is what your SGX 2000 looks like. And it looks like I might have to change this battery holder out a little bit. Something went wrong here. But this is what we're focused on right here. So, here's a display. Comes in the front, and that's what we need to remove. So, first order of business, remove this, pulling it out. Okay. And now we're going to use an Allen wrench, actually a Phillips screwdriver, excuse me, to get these two screws out. They're held in position by that nut right there, and there's another one at the bottom. So be careful that they don't fall in and you lose them. Alright, I'm going to take those out right now. Alright, so these are the pieces that we have here, so very important. This screw is going to go first through the front of the panel, and then through the spacer. Okay, it's going to have the spacer, then it's going to go through the LCD, then you're going to have this other Teflon washer, and then the nut. Okay, so screw, spacer, display, Teflon washer, then the nut. Alright, so I have my screws with my spacers up here already. So I peeled off the plastic protective sheeting off of this unit. Now make sure that the header pins are on the top, not on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to put my first screw in its spot right here. So I got that, and I'm going to go for the second one. A little tricky maneuvering right here, but I guess we'll get it done. And voila, I got it in its spot. So the next order of business is the Teflon washer and the nut. Now these parts are extremely tiny, so be mindful of that. So I'm going to do this bottom one first. Okay. Got the Teflon washer in there. Now, insert the nut. Oops. Dropped it. Okay, I got it threaded. This one came out, and I got them back in. Now it's this one's turn. Teflon nut. Sorry, washer, and now the nut. And I've got those threaded. This one in here. Now, I'm going to tighten them. They were not too tight when I removed them, so just want to make sure that they're nice and snug. You don't want to over tighten it because you don't want to crack the PC board. You know how all that goes. Okay. Nice and tight. Alright, so now here's the tricky part. So we have this ribbon cable, which is going to be replacing this piece right here. Okay, this is going to replace this. Now the thing with the new boards is that the last two pins on the right hand side as you're facing the LCD unit are reversed from the original design. These newer boards are made for Arduino projects and to replace some new electronics where I think it's an extra plus 5 volts on one terminal and then the ground is on the other terminal. That's what the VA and the VK was, whatever that is. That's what the issue with that was. So I'm going to unplug it from the main board here. Now I'm going to go one by one. Red. White. Alright guys, I need to show you this. So, over here we have gray and purple. But here we have purple and gray. You need to invert the last two because these modern display boards are a different configuration than the old school display boards. And now the moment of truth. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You might have to go in and change your LCD contrast. But yeah, this sucker's working. She's fine. Goes through all the presets. And now I can see everything I'm doing. I don't have to crouch down at the unit to see what I'm doing. Alright guys, have a good one. I will post content as I fix stuff. And I'll probably fix the battery holder soon. Have a good one, guys.